Hello, Omega Dimensions here, back for another Tsukihime video. Okay, last time last time we did the date thing, then it ended with questionable things I won't get into. So now, Vermilion Christmas Moon Part 2. Chapter 10. It's morning. I open my eyes, I put the glasses near my bed. Looking out the window, I see a cloudless blue sky. Even though a cloudless morning greets me, I can't feel but down. There's no need to wonder why. What happened with Arcuied last night sticks in the back of my mind, and the incoming guilt troubles me. She said we should just forget it, but I can't forget such a thing. I look both at my hands. Those fingers still remember how Arcuied felt. Even now, I remember the texture of her skin and her cool, gliding body temperature. I wasn't thinking at all back then, but I understand it all now. They're doing such a thing. Arcuied said to forget and pretend like it never happened. But while I regret it totally, I can't even forget one little bit of it. What I regret is not being able to control myself back then. If I didn't touch her like some animal, if I touch her more like a human, how would things have? I knew it. I didn't lose myself by looking at her golden eyes. I didn't realize about cupping her a long time ago. I realized such a simple thing just now. The morning in Tone Mansion is the same as always. Each week comes to wake me up. Ike and Kohaku are in the same room, and we greet each other briefly before we go to school. The same as always, yet I feel so empty. I can't respond properly even when probably when people talk to me, and I leave the mansion vacantly. The students streaming through the gate are all bright and cheerful. Oh yeah, today's Saturday. My sense of time has really disappeared since Arcuied came into my life. The first time I met her was on a Friday. A week ago in the morning, she was waiting for me at the intersection in front of school. She was smiling, I think. Come to think of it, she was smiling, even though she was waiting for the one who killed her. She was waiting for the killer, Tonoshiki, with excitement in her eyes. I wonder why. If she comes tonight, maybe I'll ask her. After thinking aloud, my spirits sink further. She probably won't come to the park. The feeling that last night was our final meeting turns over in my mind. My heart is heavy and everything else is simply feels empty. I may not ever be able to see her again. The regret hangs around me like a laden chain. I sit at my desk. About 5 minutes until homeroom starts. I stare outside blankly, not waiting to do anything. Yo, delinquent. You skipped class yesterday. What the heck were you doing, Tono-kun? I let down a heavy sigh. Usually I would, but today I don't feel like talking to Arco at all. What's with you? You don't look happy at all. You didn't come to school yesterday, and now you come back an empty shell. If you're like that, school's no fun. Aiko slumps his shoulders exaggerately. Alright, go. Sorry, but can you leave me alone today? I'm not here. If I'm not here, you can always talk with Senpai. Actually, isn't that better for you? Huh? Senpai? I don't know. I don't like third-year students. What are you saying? See, your senpai is a third year and that's second. Oh, sometimes I think she's younger, but senpai senpai is a senpai after all. Shell senpai? Who's that? Are there any foreign students at our school? His serious tilts his head in thought. What are you saying? Senpai's Japanese. No, wait. No one's ever said she was Japanese. Well, no one said she was, but everyone called her CL. That's what I'm saying. Who is this senpai? What's wrong, Tony? Are you sick or something? I can't hear his banter. What? That's right. Why didn't I realize something so obvious inconsistency? CEO isn't a Japanese name at all. Even though I know her, I don't even know her full name. I don't even know what class she is in. To begin with, when I first met her, why did I feel like I knew her for a long time? Why did I feel like I knew her for a long time? My chair clatters as I stand quickly. What's wrong, Toto? You've been acting too funny. I'm going to the office, sorry, but please say I'm here during attendance. Turning Ray Arco, whose head is totally confused, I dash out of the classroom. I'm beginning to see the third-year roster for the next CEO, but as expected, it's nowhere to be seen. To be sure, I asked the teacher's office, but none of them never CEO senpai. The end of classes. But being Saturday, right after afternoon, all my classes scatter and run out of the room. Saturday is finally here, but I don't feel like doing anything. Feeling like the dead, I walk home by myself. CEO, Welcome back, Shiki-sama. He so greets me as I return. Even though she's waiting me all this time, I can't return a greeting, and I go to my room. That's interesting. Ciel is not even in any records, but we know she was here, so that makes it interesting. Of course, I know the answer, but I'm trying to make it suspenseful for you. After dinner, I return to my room. It's close to the promised time for Arcuied. Shall I be going? I don't even know if she's coming. But still, I swore to never break a promise again, so I have to go. I arrive at the park shortly before 10. There is absolutely no one here. Sitting on the bench, I stare at the clock and wait for Arcuied to come. Turn to the mansion. Well, he said to not break a promise, so sit and wait. It's now 11 o'clock. The park is completely still, as if entirely frozen. There's no fresh flow of air, nor presence of anyone approaching. There's no sign of Arcuied coming. Time passes by meaninglessly. Still wait to return to the mansion. I will still wait. I feel like I'm gonna have a bad ending. Both hands of the clock approach the top of the dial. It's been 2 hours since I came here, yet there's no sign of Arcuied. I feel like it's gonna give me a bad ending, but don't know. The clock hand point to 12. It's 2 hours past the promised time. Phew, I slouch on the bench and sigh. She might not come after all. I don't know, but I don't feel like going back. Yeah, I'll wait until the morning. Damn it. I lie on the bench in frustration. And then... Wait a minute. And then I saw a flash of white behind the rest area. Besides, it moves back as soon as I saw it. I stand up from my bench and stride towards the rest area. It's as if I knew it. It couldn't hide anymore, but the white figure shows its face. Oh, I love it. Ah, you found me. Arcuied appears more cheerfully than ever. Arcuied, you. What? You really came. I brought it out because I still can't believe it. Of course, we promised. I came about 10 minutes before you did. She looks the other way. 10 minutes before. But I came here before 10 o'clock. And she came earlier? Why? If you're here before me, why didn't you tell me you were waiting there? I wanted to watch you while I was hiding. I see. Even though she doesn't act any different, she must be bothered by what happened last night. That's why she couldn't face me directly and was hiding. Sorry. That's right, it's not that simple. Yeah, you never knew I was here. I was waiting for you to notice. I was planning on meeting in a different way this time, but you ruined it by just spacing out. Ruined the what? Ark, you weren't hired because you felt awkward. Why? I was a little bored, so I wanted to play around. You say it lightly, not knowing the inkling of frustration I felt. Play around with me, you. The joy I felt from meeting her fades away instantly. It's not a mood where I have to think about what should I do after seeing her. As usual, she's acting like at her own pace without even understanding how I feel. Huh. I fill my lungs with deep breaths and night air. I'm less angry than surprised. Yeah, I'm just relieved that she's acting normally. Well, normal for her. As proof, it feels like my heart laden with impurities have just been cleaned anew. Man, you win. Really? I thought you were just zoned out. No, not about the hide or go seek. Oh well, it's useless to put it into words. I'm glad you came. Oh, so I thought I'll never see you again. You thought so after only 2 hours? That's not it. Oh wow, Shiki, you are an idiot for saying that. I don't know why I freaking sound like a fucking robot. That's not it, it's because of last night. I thought we will never meet again. That won't do, Shiki. I said to just forget about it. I says this weakly. Idiot. I'm such an idiot. I certainly thought she was just acting completely normal. But I was wrong. She was acting that way so I wouldn't feel bad. Sorry. I was an idiot. I don't have any right to yell at you anymore. I said it's okay. If anyone's to blame, it's me. So just forget about it. Isn't that better for both of us? She tries to fool us by speaking cheerfully. Fool us about last night. Fool us about how bothered she is. But telling me to forget with that expression, how can I forget? No. I wasn't apologizing for last night. I made it because I can't forget something I should forget. She? So this morning all I thought was you. All I could think was, how should I apologize to you and what to say after I saw you? So I can't just forget about it now. Arca looks away. I can't look at her either. After sensing I said something I shouldn't have, I can't look into her eyes now. She doesn't respond. I can't either, and long silence begins. I don't know how long the two of us stood there. Arca nods silently. Yeah, to tell the truth. To tell the truth, I couldn't forget about it either, Shiki. Arca blushes as she says it with some difficulty. Arcuied? She looks so cute doing that. As soon as I think that, Arca looks around her. I don't know when this happened, but we're suddenly surrounded by human shapes. What? I can't think since it's so sudden. We're surrounded. Get ready, Shiki. If you don't fight, you will just die. Fight? Then you take your glasses off. Take off your glasses, you'll get, won't you? They are the dead without even a finger worth of normal blood. I quickly take out my knife and take off my glasses. Like she says, 5 people surround us are just scribbled lines making a human shape. Why? You say you killed all Arcuied?
Yes, they are the ones I destroyed yesterday.
She narrows her eyes and glares at them. They advance sluggishly. Then they're only pretending to be dead?
Of course not. I'm not weak enough to be fooled by such tricks. But the fact that I made a mistake can't be excused. I didn't make sure they dissolve the ashes at the end.
Shuffle. They close the circle around us. My fingers grab the knife and tremble a bit. To be blunt, there's no pressure coming from these dead. Compared to a monster like Nero, they're practically nothing. But 5 of them. Can I fight this many dead? This many things for once human.
Shiki, if you hesitate, you will die. They are no longer alive. Once they have their blood sucked by a vampire and become the dead, they can no longer return. They're just dolls used by the vampire. There's no sin in killing them. I heard a voice from behind me. It seems she moved to protect my vulnerable back. Wait, what do you mean? I mean, there's many ways to magically control a dead body. It's easier to infuse human corpse with mana, of animals, or intangible objects, so it's very convenient. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to go over the details. They're coming.
I sense her moving away. At the same time, they attack. The shapes of the dead attack. They simply fly towards the arm outreached. I take out a huge leap to the side and evade their attack. Then I sense something terrible behind me. Why, you... I whirl around my strength. There's one of the dead trying to punch me. The dead body is almost devoid of places where it lies, which lets me slice on his body. What's more, its movement is incredibly sluggish. For far easier than anything that will come out of Nero. The dead charge me. I can kill them with ease. Invading them, the swinging arm, I aim for the first one, unprotected, lower left abdomen, and the line of the blood vessels there. I stare at the heart called its point. Damn it! Thrash. The knife doesn't reach its target by sliding through its unpraised arm. The one arm dead doesn't even pause its attack. The other dead also come and showing no fear. The one arm dead attacks. Right when I evade the attack, the other jumps on me from behind. Grind from behind like a piggyback stance. The dead bites on my neck. Not to suck my blood or anything like that. Just like a beast trying to kill its prey by biting its neck off. Gah! Its neck able to bite off by the human mouth. The dead's mouth is shallow, and it bites its front teeth rather than its back. As a result, the dead teeth actually break off. Even still, it tries to bite through my neck with its flat mouth. It doesn't really hurt. It's just disgusting. Ugh. The one armed dead walks towards me. I have to kill the dead behind me or I will die. The method is simple. As if they're trying to continue and bite my neck, I can just try to slice my knife through its face. But that means I'm going to kill. I understand. They aren't human. They aren't living. But I still feel it's wrong. How naive. Even they are corpses. They have shapes of humans. And they move like them. It still seems mistaken to kill them as another human being.
Shiki!
I hear Arcuied's voice as she deals with the other 3 dead. Without thinking despite with one in front of me, I look over at her and I see something terribly unbelievable. Arcuied is wounded. Even though she won't move, they move so sluggish. They only take her a second to kill. Arcuied is being pushed by those dead. She breathes heavily. Her footwork is almost
unsteadily as she's having difficulty evading those attacks. Even I can evade.
The dead rips in her arm. She counters. She tears the body in two from the head to its waist. Both halves crumble to the ground. At the same time, the other wing, Shades of Death, pounds on her. With a crash, she lands on her knees. I can tell she's breathing wildly from this distance. There's two dead attack. Wait, two dead attack. Okay, the two dead attack. They kick her kneeling figure in the face and makes her collapse on the ground. Stop. After that, they carry a dull expression, smile as they get on top of her. Stop! She lies there, arms outspread like a cross, like when I did with those discreet things here last night. Stop it, you fucking bastards! Stab. I cut through the face behind and still tried to bite me. I pierced the lower right abdomen in front of me, which had stringly paused. That is where its death is. Not even looking as it crumbles away, I turn around and kill the faceless dead around me. I run. The ones around her realize I'm coming to get up and attack. No problem. I slide through their points of death as they attack me. After it's all over, I start to catch my breath. The four figures crumble away into ash. The one Arcuied killed earlier makes 5. Killed. Without hesitating, I stop them completely. I can't think clearly. Probably because regret and self-domination are screaming at me. My panting fills the air, but it's still good. It's better than her getting hurt. For the first time with my own free will, the mind of Tonoshiki, I use this power for someone else's sake. I keep panting. I can't seem to fully catch my breath. I can hear the Sayo wheezing mixed with wild breathing. Arcuied. Turning around, I see her full pain on her knees. Are you okay, Arcuied? I rush towards her. She's curled as she breathes like something who can do nothing else. What's wrong? You're covered in sweat. Did your wound open up? I need to try to look at her face. Shiki. However, she has her hand covering it. I can't see her face. All I can see is the bloodshot red eyes through her fingers. Her suffering is normal. The way she's breathing internally isn't natural. A hungry breath, bloodshot eyes, her waving hair are chill. Sensing danger, I step back. Yet far faster than any of my movements, her teeth is closing until it sucks my blood. Arcuied arms stretch out. Like that, she holds my body. My breath stops in my throat as I call her name. Her bloodshot eyes, her sharp teeth like a beast. The overwhelming pressure that drains me of any will to resist. The thing with its teeth near my neck isn't the woman I know. I can't do anything. I can't even lift a finger. I'm going to be eaten. This is what it means to be preyed on. Her teeth push against my neck. The only thing filling my mind is fear. A shriek comes out. I almost think for an instant how pitiful it is to make such a sound. Maybe it's just my imagination, but it feels like she freezes in place. But before I can even confirm this, wham! A violent explosion erupts before me and Arcuied's body is smashed sideways. What? As she if she was hit by a car, she's blown back several meters. But as she gets up, like it's nothing. Arcuied stands They're stunned. I can't even think what to do either. And there.
And there, you're going to suck his blood.
A cold, scolding voice.
That is your true nature, Arcuied Brunstead.
The mercer's voice towers from above. I look up at the moon. There stands a robed figure from that one night. Senpai? There's no mistake. No matter how I look at it, it's CEO Senpai. She doesn't even look at me, but she glares at Arcuied, crouching far away.
Even if you destroy your kin, you cannot change the fact you are a vampire yourself. I don't know why you drew him close to you, but didn't you think it'll end this way?
Her voice is completely different from normal. Neither strict nor kind. Her emotionless voice is horribly devoid of any humanity. While making a noise, Senpai descends from the streetlight into the ground.
Usually it's nothing I will mess with, but I will not overlook you trying to kill an ordinary person. Isn't part of the plan to fight you, but if there is a need, we can settle our score. Don't be ridiculous. I don't want anything to do with you. And
she looks at Senpai hatefully.
I never intended to kill him. That doesn't sound convincing at all. It's not like you don't realize it, but what you did earlier, what kind of yell he gave out when he saw you. I don't even care you hate me. But you look at your insanity and directed it at him. Shall we ask him how he felt?
With a turn of her head, Senpai glanced at me for the first time. Arcuied averts her gaze painfully. Silence fills the park. A footstep. The robed Senpai takes only one step towards me.
Get back, vampire. You had no right to stay by his side from the beginning. What?
That's not true. I don't even know who Senpai is or what happened to Arcuied earlier, but I can at least declare this, because I myself want to be by her side. You're wrong. What's coming out of Norris? What's with you coming out of nowhere, wearing weird clothes and speaking like you understand everything? Everything. Yeah, okay, okay. You're wrong. What's with you? Coming out of nowhere, wearing weird clothes and speaking like you understand everything. Arcuied is definitely a vampire, but she hasn't. That hurts sorry. But she hasn't drunk blood even once. It's probably just that was probably just a joke.
That's probably just a joke, and you
don't have any right to.
Please be quiet, Tono-kun. She hasn't drunk blood even once. Yes, certainly these past 800 years. There is no record of her having any victims, however. Just shut up! I don't care to listen to whatever strange story you have to say.
Look, if you try to get her away, I will not forget even you. After all, I'm helping her because I want to. It's none of your business to interfere.
Tono-kun, you...
An angry emotion enters her voice.
I understand. If you say so, I won't do anything else. However...
Senpai changes her gaze to Arcuied. He looks away, not at me or Senpai.
As he said, Arcuied Brunstead, do you still intend to be by his side after this?
Arcuied does not answer. She raises her head to look at me at once, then runs off into the night. Why are you leaving, Arcuied? I start to run after her, but my feet doesn't leave the ground. Senpai walks slowly to me.
I won't let you follow her. I can't let you be killed, Tono-kun.
And her
her hands are thin, raws like blades. one of them stands by my feet.
One of them, and her hands are thin rod like blades.
One of them stands by my feet, pinning my shadow to the ground. You cannot move until that is removed. No matter how hard you struggle, your shadow will struggle just as hard not to separate you. Just as hard not to separate from you.
Stop fooling around, I'll lose her. Grab the blade below me. No matter what, I can't pull it out.
I forgot to mention this, but I'm the only one who can remove it. So please give up.
Saying that, she stops in front of me. I glare at her. She takes in my gaze and then sighs.
Geez, really, why are you so over so much, Tono-kun?
Huh? Senpai?
I know, I don't hate her myself, but this is both for your sakes. Both for your sakes. I won't let go soon, so please listen what I have to say for a while.
She looks up hesitantly. Then this is the leisure senpai I know from school. Is that why? Even though I can still grasp the situation, I start to calm down.
This is a rub, so I am prepared for you to hate me. But I have something I have to tell you. I'm very sorry for restraining you like this.
And bows her head. She's dressed strange, but senpai is still senpai. It's okay. I'm not angry, so please don't apologize. You helped me once, senpai, and I want to ask you some things as well.
That does help. But what would you like to ask me, Tono-kun?
Isn't obvious. Just who are you, senpai? Just like that, and then smashing away Arcuied. Am I the only one who remembers you at school? Someone gives a sigh in response.
Then let me ask, Tono-kun, what do you think about me?
I've only heard things from Arcuied about the churches and stuff.
That's right. As you know, I am an exorcist of the church. My specialty is hunting vampires.
I can't
answer anything else, but I think that's enough for you.
Enough? Well, why would someone like you come to my school? If you want an exterminate vampire, won't you be strictly searching the city like Arcuied?
No, there was a reason for me coming to your school, Tono-kun. Right. Since it overlaps with the talk I want to give, I'll ask the questions from now on. Tono-kun, you seem to team up with her, but do you know anything about what she's after?
Yeah, well, I heard he's an old type of vampire who drinks blood of vampires to expand his territory.
It seems you know about the two main classifications of vampires. Then I think you know about his perfectly immortal.
Yeah, about he needs to drink blood to maintain his body. But on the other hand, as long as he can drink blood, he will never age, right?
Yes, but you can't really say he's immortal in the end, can you? Besides, there are the ones who are drinking blood do not maintain their body fully, and there are some that are exterminated by us. You cannot call something that can die like that immortal.
Well, certainly, he's not immune to death. I don't know what Senpai is trying to get here. Is this really why you came to my school?
Of course. Jeez, please wait until I'm finished.
Okay, but you can give me the short, I'll appreciate it.
Oh, really? If that's the case, then I'll explain it as directly as I can.
So he seems a little disappointed.
Then a simple explanation. Anyway, the mortality of vampires are known as dead apostles is very unstable. For them, it's merely a prolongation of their lifespans, many times than that of normal humans. A question. Not only are their lifespans long, but they also have unnatural powers. Is there any relation? Not really. Their natural powers are things they had when they're human. strength over hundreds of years, continuing their studies from their human lives, gives them extraordinary powers. The Deadpool each have different goals. What they each decide to study is different. Because of that, there was one who seriously studied immortality. He became immortal, yet he's a researcher yet.
He became more, yet he's a researcher.
Yes. The instant of Deadpool becoming vampires, they assume they reached the limit of immortality as humans. However, he felt that it was just a degeneration. He did not want something so imperfect, and he wanted to come with more perfect immortality. Senpai seems to be more engaged. Senpai seems to be more engaged. But as long as something has shape, it cannot but perish. There isn't anything that can withstand the passage of time. Vampires really have a higher resistance than that of humans. Anything living internalizes death the moment they are born, even if in possession of a body which does not age. As long as it exists, it cannot escape death. To escape death is to die. This contradiction is a problem that cannot be solved.
Yeah, everyone has death within them. If there's someone who doesn't, then that's
probably something that never existed in the first place. Even Arcuied can die during the day. There can't be anything that can die in this world. That's the reason, but he concluded that if he can perceive his existence after death, he will be immortal. Isn't it in our doctrine?
Isn't that in our doctrine?
But it's what you call reincarnation. Even you die, you can preserve your sense of self and start over again as a new human, and now be eluding death. Well, he isn't completely annihilated. He isn't dead, so it's actually not quite eluding death.
Reincarnation? I mean, if he dies, he will start over as a baby?
Yes. Well, he's alive. He chooses his next host, and when he's born, he transmits all the information of his self. This information stays deep within the baby until it matures, or until it gains its intelligence at its own. As soon as the baby has intelligence to see itself, the baby becomes a new vampire that it is him.
Wait a minute. What's that? Don't tell me that he does surgery while its mother or something like that. It's in the mother or something like that.
No, it's not anything medical, because the instant his body is destroyed, he reincarnates into the body he chose as his next body. I said all his information earlier, but to use simpler terms, think of it as his soul. It won't be quite correct to say soul progenerates through the air and takes over someone's body, but it's similar to an electromagnetic wave. In this case, the human brain is what does transmitting and receiving. His exceptional point is what he took this soul, which in the cannibal and calculable, and something that disperses as soon as it leaves in the envelope of the body and proceeds as if something could be transmitted.
Sorry, senpai. I can't really see how this relates coming to my school.
It's related because this reincarnated vampire is in your school, Tono-kun.
Huh?
The vampire I'm pursuing and the vampire Arcuied is pursuing are the same. Although she probably only refer him to as the enemy.
I nod silently. Certainly, she's only used the word enemy, but she never told anything about him.
Her duty was to kill the vampire, but since he's appeared, she only pursued him. He has reincarnated 17 times already. She has destroyed him every time. Every time, but even if he dies, he would just
be reborn, right?
Isn't that pointless? Yes. He is killed by her, reincarnated each time, and is killed again by her. That cycle has repeated over and over. If Arcuied had the power to kill not the body but the meaning, then this problem would not be happening.
Senpai looks down a little, but it's something like she's gritting her teeth. I don't know why. However, it appears that Senpai also has some grudge against the enemy, like Arcuied does. Senpai, what kind of vampire is he?
He was originally a man, but that can change depending on his body he reincarnates to. The troublesome part of this dead apostle is that his incarnations are hard to find, because he's probably born as a human body and has parents. He transforms into a vampire only when he reaches the age where he can do everything at a satisfactory level. Until then, the human shows no hint of being a vampire. But once he awakens, he uses the relationships he gained until that time to blend perfectly into society. I heard the church detects his presence usually after a whole town is turned to the dead.
Wait a minute. Well, with this new host, he will never realize he's a vampire until he awakens.
Yes, but isn't like
Yes, but isn't like two people sharing one body. The baby born as a human is still him?
Depending on his environment, it's good or a bad person. But even that, the instant he awakens, goes away. To sum it up, once he dies, he's reborn into the next body. And once again, the body gains intelligence. It gains the privileged self and becomes the vampire. It becomes a vampire.
What is it? Just hearing this is terribly scary.
That's strange. I don't really understand it,
but it's strange because what you call vampires, they don't suddenly become vampires, right? So even their old self awakens, wouldn't their body still remain human?
No, reincarnation isn't transmitting of personality. It is the transmission of the soul. Once bitten by a true ancestor, not just the body, but the soul is forever soiled. He transmits all his information, called his soul, to his next self. So when he awakens, the body becomes one of the vampire, but
what?
As you said, just that is too weak. So he selects his host while he's alive. The family he's born must meet two conditions. The first being one of wealth. Be born into a family of high social standing, property, and money makes it easier to make a whole town into vampires later on. And there's another requirement. It's an important one, but almost normal people like us, there are also people that carry special powers, not like magic, which is a mystic power that we learn, but rather like special abilities from birth. Such people are normally called demonic children or psychics. The special abilities are genetic, so they are inherited, passed on by blood. He chooses those families that don't have some. He chooses those families that have something not human in their lineages. Lineages have family wealth and influence and inhuman power. Those are requirements for the host. Tonoshi-kun.
There's still something weird. I think the story is weird. What's weird is that Senpai is telling me this story. His name.
Yes. Did you say something?
His name. You keep saying enemy him. How can I understand that? Can you tell me his name? I yell at her, you not knowing why I'm angry. She doesn't look flutter at all. She only looked at me sympathetically.
No problem. Among the dead apostles, he is known as the Serpent of Akasha. This is due to the serpent being the symbol of infinity and circles, shedding its skin and getting a new body. It was perfect for this name. And for the other hand, he is recorded in the church as the infinite reincarnator. His human name is Michael Roa Valmonagan. He's also simply referred as Roa.
Roa. Never heard of it.
Of course, it's not like I never met him.
In short, you came to my school because you knew Roa was there?
Yes, it truly was a sketchy feeling, but I know this incarnation of Roa was there. I can sense Roa far better than Arcuied. That's why I came here much earlier than Arcuied. I already found out his new host is.
The voice stops for some reason. Senpai looks at me semi-elegantly, like before.
I've seen this before, but Roa chooses fine lineages and excellent bodies for his next host.
So once you find out Roa is in his place, the answer comes naturally when you investigate the families in which
his criteria. At this area, there's only one old fan that meets this criteria. I don't have to say anymore, do I? Tonoshiki-kun.
That's why. That's what I'm saying. This conversation is weird. I'm laughing dryly. What are you saying, Senpai? That can't be. Senpai doesn't answer, almost as if she's trying to say, I am this Roa's host.
But there can be no doubt. The Toon family has something different in its blood. It has power and has latent superhuman ability that Roa needs. The power you used to defeat the dead earlier wasn't human. So this time Roa host is unmistakably Tonoshiki.
I don't understand. I don't understand a single thing she says. Why? What can you be so certain, Senpai?
What?
Because I am the one who decided all of this? She said I can understand once more. What? It's different.
You're the one who killed, yet the one who survived.
The one who killed and survived. The one who killed and survived, the one who killed is dead. I think all the mistakes began there. You say so as if verged mentally. Senpai pulls the sword from the ground by my feet. That's all
I have to tell you. I'll leave the rest to you to decide, Tono-kun.
Leave it to me. But according to your story,
To be honest, I don't know either. You are an incredibly ordinary person, like a student you can find anywhere. My intuition has to be wrong, because you are someone who shouldn't be in a world like mine.
With a sad smile, Senpai leaps an incredible distance from me, as if trying to tell me someone else now unreachable far distance. I still can't leave Arcuied alone, unless I chase after her now, but I feel like I'll never see her again.
You're going after her? Are you going after her, Tono-kun?
Senpai voices returns to the way as it was when she drove Arcuied. Any inflections voice devoid of emotion. Yeah, because you're a person of the church. I know she's an enemy of yours, but a lot of things have happened, and I agree to help her. So I have to look. I have to look for her. I don't know what she would do if I leave her by herself. Laughing as a joke, I tell her later and turn around.
Please wait. If you're going after you only will get killed. You must not see Arcuied Broomstead again.
Only get killed? Well, we may not believe, but she really doesn't suck blood. Yeah, she's quite a good person, actually.
I know. Certainly she hasn't drunk human blood. However, that's at an end. A true answer gives in vampire impulse. One can only fall downward from there.
My feet freeze in place. Senpai? True answer vampiric impulse. What do you mean?
I mean the desire to drink blood. Tono-kun, the vampires called the apostles most became vampires after a vampire sucked their blood. To preserve their bodies, they need the blood of humans. In other words, they can't escape drinking blood if they want to live. But the ones who were vampires from the beginning are different. The dead apostles were never like humans like us, so maybe you can still call them human. However, if someone was born a vampire, can you call it human?
What are you trying to say, Senpai?
I'm asking about Arcuied. This is about her. I won't let you say you never thought about it. If a dead apostle became vampires from vampires, there has to be an origin, an existence that is a vampire from the beginning. These vampires are completely different species from us. We call the true ancestors, those who don't need human blood and have special powers equivalent to surpassing the dead apostles. She is a member of a royal family of the true ancestors, although they don't really have a rank structure, so saying royal isn't quite accurate.
So what, Senpai? This conversation, does this have anything to do with me?
It does. Those vampires known as true ancestors have a deeper impulse to drink blood than the dead apostles. Her eyes are completely emotionless. Like mirror, they are shown Asian agulated face. Do you see, Tono-kun? The true ancestors can live without human blood. However, maybe a mistake in their evolution, or maybe there's no such thing as a perfect existence. But anyway, there is a period when they desire blood of humans. The instant a human has his blood drunk by them, he no longer remains human. True ancestors are skilled different from human as creatures. When the powerful life of true ancestor touches the blood of a human, the sheer difference means a human cannot remain human after such contact. Like a small wave absorbed into a larger wave, that person becomes a part of a true ancestor. Simply, it becomes a doll. The problem is there's no reason for their vampiric impulses. There's no reason, so there's no way to stop it. They feel flawed as otherwise perfect existence. You can call it terminal illness. Anyway, they live by resisting the urge to drink blood. Isn't it a matter of using mind to put with it? Isn't it a matter of using the mind to put up with it? They use all their power to resist the urge and seal it within themselves by force. By using their enormous powers on themselves, they are suppressing the vampiric impulse. But if something external causes them to lose their power, what do you think happens to their abilities to suppress it?
If something external causes them to lose their power, such as receiving a wound which requires to heal, or using power to regenerate after being killed completely. So let's say she has 10 units of power, and say she used 7 of them to resist the urge of blood inside of her. But if for some reason she loses 5 of the 10 units, then even if she uses all her remaining power, she could only use 5 units of her power to resist. That's not enough. Then what will it will take from her? And what happens to those true ancestors who couldn't resist? Says Senpai.
They drink human blood, of course. After that, nothing. Once they give in, they can only keep falling. Once a true ancestor knows the taste of blood, I hear the urge becomes many times more painful than before. As a result, they aren't able to resist the urge anymore. And when that happens, they become the dreaded demon lords. True ancestors are certainly a superior race, but since they don't bind themselves to resist, vampiric impulse, they can never utilize their full powers. But once they fall, There's no longer the need to restrain themselves. Then they just become demons who suck human blood for their own pleasure. I remember how Arcuied appeared earlier. Her bloodshot eyes, her wild breathing, her breath assailing my neck. Lies. That's a lie. Because she certainly said she was scared of drinking blood. Yeah, she's scared. Because once she does it, she doesn't know she won't be able to stop. If there's any salvation, it's that the urge is instantaneous. Instantaneous. The true answer keeps just one simple word from the whole time. The urge gets too great to suppress. That's the beginning of those called dead apostles. There's something that is already dead. There is something that is already dead. A vampire kept alive for the sake of raising pain of a true ancestor. That is a form of a vampire in the city. But she doesn't have such a thing. No, until now she never needed one. Especially among the true ancestors, she was able to resist the vampire impulse using her will alone. Then there's no problem. Once her wound heals, once her body returns to normal, she can resist it, right? Technically, but there is a limit to Ono-kun. The vampire impulse has no end and will not go away. The resist urge will build up again and again, will eventually overflow their vessel. The longer they live, the longer the vampiric impulse in them gets. And when it's no longer restraining themselves with their own power, with the impulse overwhelms their power, their lives are ended by others. That is the lifespan for those without lifespans. But Arcuied is okay. She's just weak because of me, so after a few days she'll... Perhaps, but she reached her limit already. Even though she was actually active for a few years, the amount of time of her existence does not change. The urge which has grown inside her will soon consume her. There's no denying that now is not the time. She Arcuied life cannot be saved. Thump, for the first time, not because of my meaning, but for someone else's words. Everything starts to fade away in a haze of dizziness. What does it mean? Even though she knows she passed her limit, she's still hunting vampires here? That's odd. No matter how I think of it, it's odd. It's all lies. Because if she knew at her limit, then why would she hunt vampires for our sake? She deals them for our sake because it's her purpose. Who to say that? Probably the other two ancestors. She was born in the 12th century, when there were many fallen true ancestors. The true ancestors could not ignore their fallen kin, nor the dead apostles increasing in number. That's why they crave something solely for killing, without a need for anything else. The most pure true ancestor crave for punishment. This is the true ancestor called Arcuied. She's like a nuclear missile without a mind of its own. Once she leaves the castle, her target is definitely destroyed. This distance again. She should stop saying that. She's a person, talking about like she's some sort of weapon makes me mad. No, she isn't. No, she is a weapon. In the first place, she exists only for that purpose. So it seems that there's now something wrong with her. It's the first time I've seen her talk like that. She never spoke any words before. Huh? Hold on. Never spoke? That's odd. Because she never does anything extra. From long ago, for the past 100 years, she has lived that way. Ever since she was born in the old castle, among the mountains, never changing. My heartbeat and this dark dizziness. What is this? This unknown scenery, these memories I never had,
They start to fill my vision. The wild castle, country yard. Wow, she looks very beautiful. Long hair, like very graceful. Can't wait how she looks. I would love to see her HD in the remake. Because the trailer, you kind of see her, but not really. The unadorned grassy field inside the solitary castle. The white girl stares blankly at the sky. She did not have any extra knowledge nor or freedom beyond what was needed for her purpose. She goes only outside when her target is determined. She gets taught only the information needed to definitely destroy the enemy. No one's there. No one to talk to. Not even another face to see. After killing her target, and when she returns to the castle, her thought knowledge is washed out, and she's taken to sleep. Without knowing anything, not knowing nothing other than killing vampires. There's nothing. Such as the fun of speaking with someone else. The precious moments of seeing someone else and greeting them. She was excluded from all of it. Her power was strong enough to defeat the fallen true ancestors. But it's ironic. She was so powerful that she was shunned by the rest of the true ancestors. Even while praising her as a princess, no one approached her. Even while giving her a castle, her world was only the dark basement, so there was nothing to give her any feelings. That's almost making enough to pay her for living, a parody of life. She apparently has no words or even time of her own. A true answer treat her only as a weapon. A weapon has no need for extra functions, such as baking bread or doing laundry. If you're going to put extra functions, you put something more fit for a weapon, right? I was always taught never to do extra things. Yeah, she said that before. The reason for deciding everything for herself, for having those empty eyes. That's why she never needed anyone else. No, maybe she never knew about it. All they want her was a pure killing machine. That's why she doesn't know anything. I don't mean something big like the meaning of life, but not even a small joy of just living normally. She was always so cheerfully. Even trivial things made her happy. So I thought she was always like that. But I was horribly wrong. She really was just enjoying those simple things. She must enjoy them things so much because it was so fun. I never thought about how life could be so fun just by living. Like it was uneasiness she couldn't understand. The classroom filled with red setting sun when she asked me those questions with a reserved voice. Even though Arcuied has existed for so long, she knows less about living than we do. If you convert it to the time she was allowed to move freely, it is amazingly short. Her lifetime has been almost entirely as a sleep, most like a deep, dark sleep. Really, I have enough fun just talking, you know. After dealing with all the fallen true ancestors, she did not leave the castle. Having fulfilled her purpose, the true ancestors sought to educate her properly. However, she could not be free. Because of a slight mistake, she ended up killing all the true ancestors remaining in the castle. Maybe the one that was taught to kill vampires did finish her job until the very end. At the end, she was left alone. After killing all the true ancestors, she sealed herself up in the castle. In the empty castle, the true ancestors bound with thousands of chains. Whenever Roa is reborn, she awakens from her sleep and moves around for a short time. In the middle of that fixed world, she never said a single word.
That's why she's a killer down to her very core. Even though the true answers which bound her are now gone, she still wanders around with the sole purpose of killing vampires. She probably doesn't have any other fun. That's a lie. That's not what made her happy. I wasn't watching anything. Like her words or her happy face. If only I looked closer, I would have known of it. I never realized how alone she was until now. All things we feel like take for granted. Such as talking with a friend about many things or fun that lets you forget time. At the end of the day, lying down on bed and the peacefulness of just staring at the ceiling, to her, those unimportant things were precious moments of happiness. All of it. What is misery? Is her not knowing how miserable she is. Such a terrible, almost comical solitude should not exist. Lies, all of it. Enough of all the difficult things. I never knew she felt such happiness from trivial things. If I could let her know that such things she could always enjoy, that would have been such a great. Tono-kun? Her voice returns my vision to normal. What's wrong? You sound quiet and space out. Were you listening? No, sorry, I don't remember. I heard you speaking, but I felt like someone else was talking. Somebody nods doubtfully. In other words, it's okay. I don't care what she did or what she's like. I can't leave her any longer, so I'm going. Turning away from Senpai, I started to walk towards the city. Tono-kun, once the true answer falls to suppress the vampire impulse, there's no hope for recovery. If she appears in front of you, it means she's come to drink your blood. I think what she says is true for her, but it's different for true than mine. That's not true, because she hasn't drank blood yet. No. If I have stopped her, she would have drunk your blood. You're wrong, because she stopped. Arcuied was fine. As even you didn't stop, the result would have been the same. Yes, certainly. She stopped right then. So you're going to be our side no matter what, Tono-kun? Yeah. Sorry, Senpai. Senpai doesn't answer. I think I hear her sigh. We may end up fighting, you know. Maybe. But I won't apologize, Senpai. There's no response from Senpai. Just her presence getting further away. Disappearing footsteps. Without turning around, I head towards the town, shrouded by night. There's no one on the main street. Not Arcuied, not even just regular people. Damn. This is the same as last night. I don't have any way of finding her right now. Though I want to see her badly, I don't have any means. She even has such pain I can't help her at all. Damn it. I'm so irritated, it drives me nuts. Somehow, I have to find her somehow, or else I can move. I grasp painfully. Even though I ran through all the city, I don't see her. My body is exhausted. I can't get enough air. I breathe harder. The scar on my chest throbs with my heartbeat. Till now, I never hated a fragile body this much. I hungrily breathe in the air. I can't find her. I won't find her running around aimlessly like this. I struggle for a breath. If I have any chance. I'm gonna stop it here. Thanks for watching. I'll make up dimension out. Bye.